Hey there, so I am just about to feed my sourdough starter and I'm also putting a loaf in to bake. I'm so happy to have rejuvenated my starter and have things going again because we love sourdough so much and I really missed it when I wasn't making it. First, let me put this loaf in. Set a 35-minute timer. Feeding my starter. I need
35 minutes, counting down.
Another jar to put this in because I don't want to dump it out. It's really great and my other starter is overflowing almost. It's in the fridge. Okay, let me go see if I have a jar real quick. I'll be right back. I only have narrow topped jars, small mouth jars. I don't like that just because I don't like it. It's harder to get to, but I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna be pouring some of this starter into this jar, feeding it, and then feeding this one as well. I actually have enough to do like 3 starter feeds. So in case you're wondering, I used 30 grams of starter, 125 grams of warm water, and 140 grams of flour. And whenever I make sourdough with this starter right here, I'll have enough to make 4 loaves out of just this amount of starter here. And like I said, I have enough to make 2 more jars if I wanted. But I just want to have a lot of loaves going because we have our big family vacation coming up soon and I want to take sourdough on vacation. Let it rise. Actually, I forgot. I usually put a rubber band around it if I have one, to kind of know where it started. I always save my rubber bands off of produce, and that's what I use here. So you can see where it started, and then it'll just rise on up. Okay, so I got all of these starters going. Had to go scavenge for rubber bands in Mike's office, but this one was the original one I started with. It's a little fuller because there was a little bit more starter in there and I didn't want to mess with like tossing it out. And then there's that one and that one. You can actually see that the level is right here, I hope. But I'm gonna try to remember to show you these guys whenever they actually get all risen up. I don't know how long it'll take. I feel like it's kind of warm in my house because I have that loaf of sourdough baking right now. So I'm gonna set them over here by the fridge and stove. And that just keeps them like nice and warm. And they tend to rise a little bit better. So I'll be sure to show you that. I might even show you pulling this loaf of sourdough out of the oven and all that jazz, and I can't wait to cut into it because I'm starving. I have like 2 little slices, the heels of the other loaf that I baked the other day here, and poor Mike, he never gets any. I eat it all way too fast, but I'm about to toast those up and have them. So last week I was talking about I've been trying to get softer loaves, and one of my viewers, Wicked Winnie is her username, she commented that I should try taking a towel, like a cup towel or tea towel, and throwing over my loaf right after I get it out of the oven while it's here on the drying rack. So that is what I'm gonna do. I think this might be the trick to the softer sourdough, so thanks a lot for that tip, Winnie. I will let you know how it goes. I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. So it is the next morning, and I ended up putting together 2, 4, 6 loaves of bread. It's rising. I'll have to come in and do some stretch and folds, but right now I am headed out to the garden to put together a couple more garden beds. We're slowly getting this stuff figured out. It's just gonna be the best way possible for us to have flowers and growth by doing the raised beds. You know, we started out with just doing them in the ground. They're gonna be okay. I've got growth happening. Zinnias are starting to bloom. I don't think I've really showed you that. A couple of cosmos have bloomed. I also did something last week, and I showed it on TikTok, and people were freaking out. I mowed over this whole entire row. I cannot remember if I showed you guys that or not. But, you know, they say pinching off your zinnias when they're short will help produce branching and growth, and that is very true, but I don't want to take the time to do that. Oh, hey Stormy. Today's plan, build a couple of garden beds and put right here. They'll be like those right there, just not as long. And then see what happens. I've got cactus zinnias that I'm gonna be putting in here. I bought some seeds for that because I have never had cactus zinnias before. These were from some flowers that I had left over from a bouquet that I went to that flower farm last year. So anyways, it's about to get really hot. The dew is very heavy this morning. So in order to build the garden bed, I'm gonna probably be on the front porch. I'm gonna get that done, and then Mike is gonna come out and help me fill it full of dirt. Still have this big pile of dirt that we need to use up. Showing you a little bit of our progress. These beds are coming right along, and we'll be able to add to them next year because I don't want to cover up and disturb those cactus zinnia that are right there. And I'm gonna be planting more cactus zinnia here in this bed. And if I have enough seeds, they'll go in there. If not, it'll just be my regular ones. Y'all, look at this. I'm so excited. I'm out here at the pumpkin vines. Oh my wow. We've got a pumpkin. It's the only one. Maybe there'll be more soon. I don't know. I don't see any on these other vines. That's so exciting. And then there's the cantaloupe. It's just so cool how much they have grown. It's so fun seeing all this happen. Wow, I hope those do really well. They're all blossomed out. So hopefully they're getting the pollinators that they need, and then we will start having cantaloupe grow. And I just realized Mike told me he planted some watermelon seeds out here too. So we're gonna have cantaloupe and watermelon out here, it looks like. Today I am putting in another raised bed. I just got this one assembled, got it all dug out, laid my cardboard down, and now I'm fixing to add soil. All right, so I got one layer of soil in. It's just topsoil. I don't love this soil, so I've got some bags that I'm going to be adding of organic stuff. You may have seen me measuring. We have to be able to fit our mower in between everything, so I made sure there was clearance all the way around, and there is, and it's pretty stinking level, which Mike loves. This bed specifically is going to be for my okra. I'm going to transplant it because, oh goodness, don't look at all these weeds. Remember, this is all supposed to be covered in brick someday. Work in progress. Anyways, I've got just too much going on in this bed, and my okra finally started taking off right here, 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 and here. So I'm gonna dig deep around these. Oh, there and there too. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 okra plants. Those were from seed, by the way. So I'm gonna try to move them into that bed, all of them, and hope that some survive. Really crossing my fingers on this one. We are transplanting the okra today. Mike's having a fun time weeding the garden. It got a little out of control. It's taken care of. I've been weeding flower beds, so it's a weeding kind of day. So if you'll remember, just a couple of days ago, we put this raised bed in, and I scattered the cactus Zenyas seeds. That was literally 3 days ago. Look at this. They are taking off, and I am so excited. I get excited about these kinds of things way too easily, but you know, it's just with all the craziness we've had. I mean, rain and more rain, it's still happening. It has not let up. You'll see these beds are still standing in water, but still there's growth happening. And look at all these little blooms. I cannot wait to walk out here and just see the beauty of all these flowers everywhere. Let me show you real quick. These cosmos, first time having cosmos. The blooms on these are just simply stunning. Look at this. Oops, sorry. I could just photograph these blooms non-stop. I'm trying to zoom in on them and it keeps making my camera jump. This one is, oh, wow. Gorgeous. I can't stand it. Also, I just have to show you, yesterday we were out here until pretty much dark. I actually went in, took a shower, cooked dinner, and Mike continued to weed all of this. That just means we're one step closer to getting our brick put in so that it will match this right here. I've got some brick that I've traded out, brick for sourdough, so one of these days I have to go over and get that. But anyways, it'll just be fun to get this completed so it's not muddy. I guess it didn't rain overnight. It was supposed to, but it didn't. But our garden is just flourishing. Cucumber vines are loaded. I picked yesterday, and I need to come out and pick again today, this morning, hopefully. But anyways, there are so many tomatoes on here. I'm a little concerned. I feel like they've been green on the vine here for weeks now, and haven't ripened yet. But I did read that it can take up to 2 weeks for those to actually start ripening, and I really hope that that starts happening soon. Otherwise, I'm going to be really sad if we just have a bunch of green tomatoes and they don't actually ripen. And I can't forget to mention that today is Mike's birthday, and we had a really great day together celebrating. And tomorrow, all the kiddos will be over, and we're going to have a big birthday dinner for him. All right, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we will see you guys next week.